السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عليه تسليما جميعا كثيرا. Jazakallah khairan for attending the first in what we hope inshallah will be a monthly series of webinars for the Disability COVID Recovery Group. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm the host. My name is Dr. Wajid Akhtar. I'm the Assistant Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Britain, but I'm also a GP, and I've realized over time that things that shouldn't shock me shock me. And one of the things that shocked me was when I saw the statistics about the numbers of Muslims who have some kind of disability. And I know that word is loaded. Some people do not prefer that word, maybe differently abled, maybe different abilities. I do apologize. I think we should have a whole session on actually that terminology. But for today, we're going to be using that, that word. And we realize that actually many Muslims have this issue. In fact, one place I read that up to 23% of all Muslim women suffer with some kind of disability, subhanAllah. So a huge portion of our community have a issue that many others are not aware of, and that is not catered for by Muslim organizations or by Muslim communities, or they just simply not understood, or they're not heard. And the aim of the COVID Recovery Group is to use COVID as an opportunity to change the relationship, a chance for us all to get to know each other better and support each other better, inshallah. So that's enough from me. I want to go around and introduce you to our panel. We'll begin with Sister Marsuli Noor, who is here. If you could introduce yourself, inshallah, I'd be very grateful.
Yeah, sure. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm one of the co-founders of Ana Huna, which is a small community group that started recently in Greenwich, London. So currently I work for a Muslim charity organization, and I also have a long-term health condition, and I also have a sibling and a father who are living with disability. So that's where my interest started from. So I'll just leave it to there for now.
Jazakallah khairan. And Sister Masuli is being typically very humble, but she is the lead also for the COVID Recovery Group. And she's been leading the group, mashallah, for I think at least a year, if not more, bringing together lots of different organizations from Al-Ishara, Muslim Deaf UK, Amanati, Ana Huna, and so many others, mashallah. So she's been doing a fantastic job. Along with her, we have her colleagues, Sister Sharifa. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Sharifa. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, please. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Sharifa. I'm a mother of 10 children. I've got a husband who has disability. Amongst them, one has disability as well. He was born with genesis of corpus callosum, and he was diagnosed in like 5 years ago with autism. And at the moment, I'm studying as well. I'm studying social work. I'm in my 3rd year. So yeah, I'm a co-founder of Anahuna as well. In fact, I'm Marasuli's mom. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam, mashallah, this is amazing. And finally, Sister Ilham Al-Fan.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Ilham. I'm a mother and a carer of a 13 years old girl with autism, severe difficulties, and anxiety disorder. Currently, I am a family advisor at Great Ormond Street Hospital and Evelina at St. Thomas's, and qualified high-level teaching assistant. I worked in special needs school, Islamic schools before, and I'm currently running the family support group for Anahuna, and part of the creation team of the Ramadan booklet.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. So we have an experienced panel here today. I know we advertised also there was going to be another organization, Amanati, which has been very involved with the COVID recovery group for quite a long time. But unfortunately, there was a bereavement in the family just last night. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give their family ease and the departed one Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah. So we will reschedule a session with Amanati at a later date. But that gives us a bit more time with Ana Huna. So, mashallah, we've got a lot of these co-founders of Ana Huna here. I guess the first question I want to ask is, what is Ana Huna? I know Ana Huna stands for like I'm here in Arabic, and that's a very it's a very interesting name. But what is Ana Huna? And maybe we could look at it from different angles. Maybe we start with you, Sister Marsuli.
Yeah, so like you rightly said, Anahuna is a statement to say I'm here, and basically it's a statement to affirm everyone's right to belonging, especially in our community. And it was inspired by children's determination to, and their sense of belonging when a child is first born. They don't feel like they're an outsider or anything like that. And that sense of not belonging is something that's imposed by society and the environment around them when they start growing. So Anahuna is just an affirmation of that original stance that we all have when we're first born, and we first step into this world, because we all belong here.
That's a really nice ethos to start an organization with. But I think if I ask Sister Sharifa, what made you want to start it? Because there are many people who are in these kind of situations as well, and their hands are full looking after themselves and their family. Like, you don't have time for anything else. So to start a whole organization, it's a lot of energy, a lot of time. What made you feel like you needed to do that?
It all began when we started going to the masjid. My son, his name is Abdul Halim. We used to take him to the masjid, but whenever we will go, because he has sensory issues as well. So when the speaker goes on, he wants to run from the masjid. When someone wants to shake hands with him, he will just run away. He wasn't settled at all. And you get people looking at him. Some people will give weird looks. So we thought that he wasn't feeling that he was belonging in the masjid. This is how Anahuna started. So it started when I asked Marasuli once, what do you think if we start this? And we weren't sure if this is what we wanted to do. But whenever we will go there, Abdul Halim wasn't settled at all. So we began this journey in 2018, or maybe 14.
Before that, in 2014, our children go to the same special needs school. And surprisingly, we've been struck by the fact that most of the children are Muslim in the special needs school. And the only place we meet is the school. And the mosque is only a few meters away from the school. So we just found out that there is a huge chunk of community that attend the special needs school, but not getting support outside the school. And as a family advisor in the hospital, I do understand the cultural and religious sensitivity when it comes to services and support system to Muslim families. And we found, okay, if we create something that's from us, from Muslim people to Muslim people, that understands the language, that understands the needs and the background of our community, it will suit us more and it will be more effective. So it started in 2014. All the parents in the special needs school were happy to meet and create an Arabic club in the school. However, due to the logistics, we couldn't have it there. And then we tried to create it in the mosque, but we found resilience and we found it hard to start it in the mosque. Then we decided, okay, let's come together and create a stronger voice by being a structure of community group, so we can get funding and get the right resources to reach the aim we're looking for. And then Anahuna was created and founded, and just to be a shout out, we're here, we exist, and there is a lot of us missing in the mosque, and something needs to be done to solve this problem.
I wish my camera wasn't on, because it's I can hear the heartbreak, and it's very difficult. I have to say, it's very, very difficult to just to hear like how much I can, like the difficulties that you must have gone through so far. And inshallah, you know, I think we have no excuses, but it's time to stop making excuses so the rest of us can step up and do more, inshallah, to make it not this situation, right? It's not right. There's so many of us, and any one of us can have the same situation and experiencing it. And we know that this is not just for disabled Muslims. We know that sisters have a special problem or issue in the community. We know if you're certain ethnicities, you're going to have certain problem. If Black Muslims have certain problems, and so these problems are everywhere. But alhamdulillah, you know, you guys have made a start, and like you, there are other organizations that have made a start, and then it's our responsibility, inshallah, to support. I want to come as it's a really useful question. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Is there a difference between being having a disability as a Muslim and as a non-Muslim, like in terms of the experience? Because some people will say, you know, there are a lot of other organizations out there. Why do we need a Muslim organization? Why does it have to have that name? Because, you know, like, is there a difference between them, or do you feel that there's a difference?
Yes, definitely. Since we started, we have more representation in the commission panels in our local authority. As a matter of fact, the special needs school in Greenwich has started sending Eid cards to the children for Eid, and not only celebrating Christmas and other religious festives like Diwali. So they never mentioned Eid in their curriculum. So since then, they've been respecting our celebrations. Also, we managed to get advocates and professionals for Muslim families who have some worried, like the flu jab, whether it's halal or not, any treatment like music therapy, how we can make it more Islam friendly. Like some families are not open to drawing or music, so we try to create services and support system that respects our religion and our backgrounds, like to implement halal diets in the special needs school, all these things, and also support. As a matter of fact, most families of living with disabilities, regardless of the background and religion, they come from vulnerable family. They high divorce families living with divorce, single mothers who don't speak English, who are immigrants. They need a lot of support, and to reach them, they're really hard to reach community. So if the support does not come from us Muslim Ummah, who else will understand? And it's a shame that we don't think about this specific characters of our community. We expect a lot from people who are already vulnerable, but people who don't face the same challenges are not even listening, are not even willing to do anything.
It's a great missed opportunity, because this is a large section of our community. I mean, you know, one of the American presidents who led them during World War II, Franklin Roosevelt, he had a disability. He was in a wheelchair, you know, and they didn't stop him. He just kept going and you know, defeated Hitler. You know, I went to Bletchley Park recently, and the Bletchley Park is where they had the code breakers who broke the code for the Enigma machine, and the main person helped break the code, Alan Turing, you know, they say the father of computing. He had definitely some kind of autism, maybe was not diagnosed at that time. So our geniuses, probably many of our geniuses in our community, many of the people who could do a huge amount for not just the Ummah, but humanity as a whole, maybe we're not giving them the opportunity to shine, and it's hurting all of us.
But even more to add more to that, Brother Wajid, I think we talk about how, you know, Islam is a way of life in our community, but it's a way of life that has been set to us as an example through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he made sure that every member of the community was included. And I'll give an example of my own brother. He taking him to the mosque, him being a part of that environment has actually built a love for Islam for him. It's now part of his identity. He may not know how to read the Quran, as well as myself or anyone else here, but he understands that this is part of who I am, and that is more than anything. And it's what we want for our siblings, for our parents, for our relatives who have disabilities. And I think that's why it's so important to have this, particular approach from our own community.
Yeah. I just want to highlight something. We all remember the first lockdown and how sad and depressed most of us were when we could not go to prayers for Tarawih in Ramadan. Imagine this is a life of someone who cannot access the masjid only because he has no ramp to access the place. Especially, even if you're a woman, you're even more discriminated to go to the mosque, because most of the time the wheelchair ramp is only for men prayers area, and women are most of the time upstairs needing to go on the stairs. Each one of us in certain points on his life could not go to the mosque because of he broke a leg, or the lady was pregnant, or we get old and then have Alzheimer's, or any limitation. Any one of us at certain points of his life will have certain accessibility issue. So lockdown was supposed to be a reminder that not everyone is privileged to be able to go to the mosque.
It was a very, I think it's probably why we started that group, because we realized for the first time what it must feel like, and it's not nice. And if we don't use this opportunity, and then when? There's a really beautiful presentation that was shared by Sister Rahman Noor on the work of Ana Huna. I can share my screen. Does anyone want to talk through it? Let me share it. I'll share the screen. It just shows, it highlights your activities, I think, and sometimes picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's share the picture, inshallah. If someone would like to talk through it, I will be very grateful.
So these are the pictures of our coffee mornings that are run every Wednesday. Sorry, my daughter is and this is the Autism Awareness Day. We got ESD Outreach to come and speak about autism and the learning difficulties, disability. And this is part of our project Each Ramadan. We create Ramadan booklets and Ramadan boxes with sensory toys, with some prompts for the activities within the book. So we use, in the books, we use PECS, which is a picture exchange communication system. And we try to accommodate the cognitive ability of most children. So everyone in the family can do it. The one with low abilities, medium abilities, siblings also can try on to do the activities. Yes, they're very inclusive. They're very easy to understand and to read as well. And in some activities you include the whole family as well, so it's very interactive. And we tried to create the booklet in a way is for the whole month. Each day you have activity. As you know, with children with learning difficulties and disabilities, it's all about consistency and routine. We try to implement it as part of the daily routine in Ramadan, so they can understand Ramadan is 30 days. It starts like this and this and that till Eid, where we celebrate and we end fasting. So this is, we as mothers, we couldn't find resources that suits our children's ability. Even when we try to present it to the school, special needs school, they could not understand what we're talking about, because we could not find something that's accommodate the needs of our children. So we said, okay, let's create the content. Let's create an activity booklet for children with learning difficulties and autism, and present it to the school so they can copy it in the classroom. and they don't even, it's not all about a picture of a masjid and routine. It's more, our region is so rich. We have so much to show the world and present to everyone. So this was one of our projects. And here we have awareness day. So here as well, we try to create more new ideas of workshop. Like, okay, if we can't do the arts and crafts traditional workshop, let's try to discover Islamic art. So we, with the help of great artists, we managed to offer Islamic art workshops for children with learning difficulties and autism and all disabilities. And the children loved it. It was very relaxed atmosphere. And then we also run art and craft competition every Eid al-Adha for children with disabilities and learning difficulties and their siblings. We just try to create a safe and welcoming environment and a platform for everyone to come together and build a supporting network among our community. Another thing we created recently, it was another project funded by a local authority, which is group. After the lockdown, after COVID crisis and pandemic, a lot of women suffered from mental health issues, and we found that walking is the best way, and going out to nature is the best way to revive confidence and social security and build confidence to go back to the world. So we started with the support of Ana Garcias, who is a life coach. We created this group, which is a weekly group. We go out in nature, walk and talk about different issues, and we get guests every week or every now and then who wants to promote like healthy lifestyle or any sewing clubs or any activities going around the area. So yeah, and we concentrate more on women because we feel like women are the main, most of them are carers, and so it's a safe platform to come together and support each other and create the feeling of belonging again.
Jazakumullah khairan. And Sister Sharifa, I'll just ask you that what challenges have you faced when you are trying to do the Anahuna work? Like, I'm sure there are many challenges, so the list will be like, it'll be another webinar just for the challenges, but any specific ones that that you feel like this is a big challenge, and if only we didn't have this challenge?
One of the challenges that we faced was outreaching people. It was really difficult. We started with a one-parent coffee morning, and by the time COVID came, we had like 9 or up to 15 maybe. It was really difficult for us to outreach. Sorry.
It's okay, don't worry. I have a baby, so if you hear any screaming, it'll be my baby as well. So we're all in the same boat. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and another challenge is I would say it's maybe the committee. Our committee is not approachable. That's the main challenge that we're facing. If we have committee members that we can run to, it's like having maybe you've hurt yourself, you're running to someone asking for help, and there's help already there for you, but it's like we are here, but we don't have a committee. I would say it's really difficult for us. It's like having Anahuna on its own. It's like having Anahuna. It's like creating Anahuna outside the masjid. We're trying to build our name and then to bring ourselves to the masjid, because I think our committee is not approachable.
Communication is huge issue. There is no communication.
Maybe I would say there's no awareness. If there was awareness, difficult.
And it's not only from the other side. It's not only from the mosque side, also from the families. Families need to accept the fact that this child has a disability and then move on. It's not only from the other side. It's not them who are bad. No, it's us, even us. We need to come out. We need to be there. So people know that it's not hard to deal with disability. It's not, because I understand people who don't have anything to do with disability. They're scared. They don't know where to start. Oh, you just tell them this person has a problem, and then they get stuck. They don't know how to speak him, or they don't have the confidence. So also families of children with special needs and individuals need to come out and accept the fact this is disability, this is ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are blessed, we are grateful for this ni'mah, and then we should show it up to the world and show them how great our children are and how our parents should come. So the other side also trust in us and see it's not always about money, it's not always about resources, sometimes logistics and the two sides of the matter.
I'm speechless because you guys have said everything that that is really like speaking from the heart. I had a last question, actually, just a technical one. Ana Huna is located in Greenwich. Any plans to expand outside?
So our last workshop was in Tower Hamlets in Bow, so we want to be more accessible, and we are always active on our social platforms, Twitter, website, and Instagram. And when we do any competition or any event, it's open for everyone. We make sure to record everything and put it on our website for anyone who could not access the service. And we also offer online support, weekly support, if anyone who has any requests about EHC plan, translation. We have, among us, we speak so many languages here, so we support with filling the forms, applying for grants, emotional support, diagnosis, so many, finding Islamic resources for children with learning difficulties. So yeah, we and again, that's the reason why we're really happy that we've been offered this platform to introduce ourselves and promote our service.
Jazakallah khair. It's not offered. I mean, you guys are part of this platform, like Sister Marasuli built this platform, mashallah. So this is I'm a great believer in unity. The barakah comes when we come work together, all the different organizations. And so first, these organizations unite together, inshallah, and then the community will find it easier to unite, inshallah. Slowly, we're going to make this happen, inshallah. Before I finish, because we wanted to keep it very manageable, like 30 minutes. We could easily talk for 1 hour, 2 hours, I know that. But we will come back again and again, inshallah, and we want to explore different avenues, different issues. We want to explore deafness, inshallah, next month, sorry. Last Wednesday of the month, we want to explore, and then maybe a month after that, we'll talk about specific issues like autism, maybe about carers and so on and so forth. So every month we want to explore some different area, and these will all be on YouTube. We will share it. We're going to encourage, inshallah, one day when there's enough people on board and we have enough, we'll do a big conference, inshallah, invite all the masajid, the imams and everyone, and really try to make a big change. But we'll start with a small step first. Before we finish, any final words from you, Sister Marasuli?
Yeah, I think one thing I really want to stress is just how influential the youth are. Amongst Anahuna, we have my young sister and my nephews and nieces and other friends, but they're all young, in their teenage years, and mashallah, just seeing how they engage with their peers, how they have such an open mind, and they're very open to learning and to engaging with others who have disabilities and those who don't. I think that's an inspiration in itself, and I just hope a lot more community members can be more open to engaging with each other. As Ilham has mentioned, we want to make sure that our community is inclusive, and is an example of the prophetic way of life, the Islamic way of life that we're trying to all adhere to. So yeah, just a really big shout out to all the youth out there who are doing an amazing work to make change in their communities.
Jazakallah khairan. Yes, I agree, especially because I can no longer be classified as a youth, unfortunately. Sister Sharifa?
Any last word, Melissa?
Yeah, I think it comes to promote each other. I think it should be the word as well as a community. If there's any way that someone is running some maybe women's group within a community of Islam, we should be there for each other. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
No, just
can you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I thought maybe it froze. Yeah, there should be a support and unity as well. I think that's the word for me. Yeah.
And Silham?
Just want to say that I do relate to all the comments in the chat. Every single sentence, I've lived it in some point of my life, and I do understand everyone. I'm sorry if I'm not replying to your messages and questions, but I do relate to everything being said in the chat. And like Marasuli said, that if we talk about the subjects, we will hopefully, inshallah, have enough professionals working in this field. We will have more GPs, we will have more OT, occupational therapists, we will have more speech and language therapists, and who will support religion sensibility in the service. So inshallah, if we talk about it among our families, our children will be professionals supporting vulnerable people, which is the best aim in our religion. Our religion supports the weakest before the less weak. So this is going to be a good example for our children if we stand up for the weakest. Well, I don't want to call people with disability the weakest, but if we stand up for each other, if we are here for each other, then that's a good example for our children. If you're doing anything, it's not going to waste. It's a good example for the children, for the community, and it gives good image to other communities.
Jazakallah khairan, everyone. Thank you so much. Inshallah, next time we're going to introduce a question and answer section. But if you have any specific questions, please email either covid or admin@mcb.org.uk, and we will pass on to the sisters at Ana Huna. And I just want to thank our guests, Sister Ilham, Sister Sharifa, Sister Marasuli, Sister Ahmad Rahman, and the whole team at Ana Huna for sharing with us the work that they do, but also the importance of why they're doing this work. Because when you share that with us, then that really also affects us as well. If there have been any mistakes, then please forgive us. We're not experts. We're speaking as non-experts on the subject, and my esteemed panelists and colleagues over here are much more expert than ourselves. But inshallah, please join us next month and tell others to join as well. Whether they have an interest or not, they will be educated, and as we get more educated, we become stronger, inshallah, and we become more united. So next month, last Wednesday of the month, 7:30, same time, same place. You'll see the posters go around, inshallah. Let's make a change, inshallah. Let's make a difference. And please check out Ana Huna. If you want to volunteer, if you want to get involved, I'm sure there's no organization in the world will turn away extra volunteers, extra support, even financial support. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. Jazakallah khairan. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا والصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وجزاك الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.